Hello and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, D&D podcast set in the world of Fierlor. Do we have any announcements out of the usual before we jump in?
I
Yes.
just want to say very, very quickly, when we're recording right now, it is the end of Pride Month. So I just want to retroactively wish everyone happy Pride. And I hope your year is going well and you're out there being better and gayer than you were before. So there you go.
Yes. Before I jump into the usual video, you may have noticed already, Johanna is not with us at the moment. Life is a bit busy right now for them, so they've had to jump out for a bit. Hopefully we can get Joe back in at some point down the line, but for now, until we can diverge Rook's path a bit, there's going to be a bit of kind of autopiloting and stuff during the session. But everything's fine. Just life has a way of being life sometimes. And then the usual stuff of if you want to support the show, obvious ways are to give us a like, subscribe, share us with your friends. Or if you want to go that little bit extra, we have the Patreon and the Redbubble, which you can find all kinds of things there. So many designs that a lot of them, almost all of them, thanks to Zoe. I believe there's, at the time of recording, currently one design up by Laura, and then there are, as always, the logo designs up as well. And the Patreon, we have, you get early access to various things and things like my DM notes and various bits of homebrew that are made up for the show and the wider world. So, without further ado, let's jump into another episode of Wyverns and Weirdos. So, where we last left off, the party made their way into the Warding Wilds and started to discover some of the protective arcane wards that seem to be naturally occurring in this area and the effects around them. They also discovered that demiplanes such as Neumann's workshop are seemingly a safe zone from these wild magic effects, and there was some tenseness with Caius at the reactions to wild magic, and Bertie attempted to talk him down a bit, and before the two of them rejoined the party as they were making camp. So, as everyone wakes up from their night of resting in Neumann's workshop, can I get everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw? Neumann, you are used to sleeping in this workshop, so I will give you advantage on this one.
How many of us get disadvantage because Caius was squeaking the little bee plushie bee made him all night?
For the majority of the night. Not actively, like after the last hour. It would just be like he'd roll over and just... It was a half squeak as he lay on it. And then he'd roll back after 30 minutes and you'd just hear like a...
I think Ross and Sam probably have that high enough. Actually, no. Sam's passive perception isn't that great. What's Ross's passive perception? Hers is great. So Ross would probably have disadvantage from the somewhat interrupted sleep. Bertie and Anya probably would have been disturbed a bit, but I mean, unless you want to willingly.
I kind of feel like Anya, who is primarily hearing based as a character.
Okay.
It's probably gonna have to roll that at disadvantage, which she rolled so well. This is that's not bad. The lower is a 12.
12.
The lower is a 13.
13. Bertie?
Bertie was on first watch, so would have come in and slept later when everyone else was probably asleep. I rolled a 10.
Okay. Caius?
22.
22. Neumann?
Squeak, and 18.
18. Rook rolled 19 plus whatever. So 30.
The jocks. I don't care where they sleep.
Yeah. And Sam rolled a 30. So, basically, everyone except for Neumann, Caius, and Rook take a point of exhaustion for the poor sleeping conditions of the workshop.
How dare you?
Where
a little dust.
do I mark that on Beyond?
So it is under conditions.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. So yes. So the effect of So the effect of one level of exhaustion, to remind everyone, is disadvantage on ability checks. So that will be fun. All right. Got 2 character sheets to worry about now. All right. So, is there anything that folks want to do in the morning?
If we haven't already conveyed it to the party, Neumann will mention that spells can be cast inside of the workshop in safety. So, particularly to Ross in particular, just because Ross may have spells they might want to cast for the day, perhaps. And also just makes it general party knowledge. And I'm just saying if he wants to cast anything at the moment, but so many options.
Yeah.
Not used to it.
Thank you, Neumann. I don't have anything that lasts longer than an hour, really, but it's good to know. It's a good plan. Ross says as she's like rubbing the bags under her eyes, just like, oh god.
Just like maybe a bit of a kink in the back from lying on something.
We might have to look at finding a way to make everyone sleep a little bit more comfortable. As he looks around the room, probably looking at someone, massaging their back, Ross rubbing their eyes, stuff like that. Look, I was like that for a couple of nights, but you kind of get used to it if you all want to stick with it. But we could probably fashion something. Unless, I know we got a lot of traveling today, but I could probably keep my hands busy making stuff with anything we find along the way.
Neumann, I think the issue is sleeping on the hard floor.
Yes,
you still have your mansion, or you should have it after today, yes?
It's a dome.
Your dome.
Which would be on the ground, regardless. Just not in my workshop.
Would it not be more
As well, I will say at this point, probably Bertie is probably getting up. I think I've mentioned before, but he like sleeps very tightly in the fetal position. So he would just like found some corner of the workshop and just like curled up. He kind of like sits up and just like probably like when you're popping bubble wrap. He's like, oh, sorry, did I hear that right? You can cast spells safely in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't take too long to set up the workshop if we ever need to do it on the fly. But yeah, if you have any all-day spells, maybe now's a good time to do it, rather than risk the.
Yeah, no.
He's actively going to avoid saying wild magic because of conversations past.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it, but that's good to know, because I gotta say, Neumann, it's a nice looking workshop, very noisy, hard to focus, and I only slept for 4 hours, and boy oh boy, this is I might look into some alternatives.
Yeah,
if that
sure.
doesn't offend you so much.
No.
Next time we have to take sleep. Yeah.
No, this was the best I could do.
Cool, no, that's all good. No problem. And he stretches and pops more and tries to stretch out. Trundles off to go and grab something to eat.
Well, I had a wonderful sleep.
Yeah, we're aware, Caius.
Oh, sorry, did I snore?
No. No.
Oh, I usually snore.
Well, see, I've not... Ross is she pauses, and then she does that thing where you grab your own head and crack your own neck that way, and she goes, "That's better, sorry. That was annoying me. No, just the squeaking. Was that your armor rubbing against itself? That was strange."
Oh no, that doesn't make much of a noise anymore. And he's going to sort of wriggle around.
That's right,
you
said that, yep. Then what was squeaking?
Oh, and he's going to run back over to his little sleeping area that he had, and pull out a little bee plushie, which he's going to squeak a couple of times and then underhand throw to Ross.
Oh, it's adorable.
Isn't it?
She, as subtly as possible, makes direct eye contact with Bertie. She's like, "It's sweet."
Oh, well, I guess because Bertie's in the background, he's probably very pointedly not paying attention. His little ears are directed somewhat in that way, because he'd already gone off at that point,
Yeah.
I believe.
Ross tries and then is It's really sweet. Does it have a name?
Well, I'm not really sure. I was brainstorming a couple of names last night, but then I got distracted. So no, I think I'll just try some out and we'll just see whatever sticks.
Fantastic. That's very sweet. And she's gonna walk over to Caius, put the bee back in his hands and give it a little pat. And then she's going to kind of turn back around to the group. What time is it?
It's probably early mid-morning.
Okay. She's gonna be well, we know now we can cast magic in here. It'll be safe, but we should get a wriggle on, as they say. But I'll try and see what we can do about breakfast, and then we can head.
I can help with breakfast.
Yeah, I think Bertie was grabbing something too, so we can be a little team.
Anya, this entire time, well, she got up quite a lot less audibly than the others. So there wasn't any popping, there wasn't any sort of crunching sounds. She is quite limber and always has been. She has none of the joint issues that I do. Good for her. We love to see it. But she gets up and she just has bags under her eyes. And she has gone into like a corner of the room and has taken her water skin and has just like doused it over the back of her head to try and wake herself up. And I can imagine Rook is most likely there, like patting her back and comforting her. The wonderfully well-rested Rook, who was just oblivious to it all.
Okay, so you all go through your morning routines as best you can in this workshop in a demi-plane in the wilds with a decent to wonderful breakfast whipped up by your party members, and you head out for the day. Can I get everyone to roll me a survival check for the day's travel? Remembering, if you have exhaustion, to roll at disadvantage.
Guidance for everyone, Neumann says.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, that's a cantrip, I believe. It should be. Is it guidance?
Yeah, guidance. But you
is a cantrip?
you can only sustain it. Like you can only it's concentration, so you can only have one instance of it up.
You'll be able to see that one of mine in Beyond, Anya rolled a 6, but because she's proficient, that's actually a 10.
Yeah.
So the lowest she rolled was a 27, and that is the lowest that she can roll in survival.
Okay.
This is her area of expertise.
Yeah.
Okay, who gets my guidance? Who is... Oh, it was helping out Ross. So Ross can get guidance. So
Thank
you now
you.
have a extra D4.
Thank you, because the lower was a nat 1,
Mhm.
making it a 6 in total. But now it's a 9.
Okay.
Ross did,
Caius and Bertie?
Caius got a 15.
Yeah.
Sorry, was this survival we were
Yes,
doing?
survival.
So a 12.
12.
And Newman got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So, progress is somewhat slow today. But you're making your way through without too much incident. And you're able to find an area to set up camp or demi-plane again by night's end.
And just for the sake of saying it, Newman would have packed up all of his gear, taken the workshop. And secondly, just want to confirm with Darby, cantrips don't require a wild magic roll.
They do not.
Awesome. Newman will go up to Bertie and be like, so what's your plan for sleeping tonight?
Oh, well, you can set up the workshop just as it is. I got some stuff that might be able to fix it, that's all. Not
sure.
like fix it, like not saying that it's bad, it's just not great for me personally to sleep on.
No, that's fine. So is it still going to be inside of the workshop?
If it's safe in there, not
It
to use
absolutely
magic,
is.
I don't want to do that.
As long as you don't create
Cool.
a plane inside of the plane. not ever create plane
Bertie like flicks through his
inside of
like
plane.
spellbook to check
You
if
will
the spell he
break
wants to
the
use.
plane.
is a plane.
Okay, now, Jake, roll me an Arcana check as Neumann.
Arcana. Absolutely. That's a 25.
25. So that kind of stuff tends to be specific to a permanently sustained demiplane inside another permanently sustained demiplane.
So I know bag of holding is usually the one.
Yeah, but at the same time, this workshop can you've taken bags of holding into this workshop.
Never opened them.
No, but bags demiplanes in your experience are fine within the workshop. Just don't open a demiplane in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Yeah, you just can't put the workshop's totem into a bag of holding.
Yeah, so it should be fine, actually. It just depends. If you're ever unsure, ask me and I'll give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down. But should be fine.
Okay. Maybe it's best if I do it first then before anyone else like Caius goes in then, just in case something does go wrong. Huh?
Sure. Do you want me to be the guinea pig?
Well, I'm not saying that, but yes.
Happy to be of service.
I want this to be like a really cool big thing, but like this is like I'm feeling very unconfident about this, right? Hang on. And he like fumbles around in his like pocket. And he takes out a wand and he kind of then like taps it to his temple. He's like, and his ears prick up. Cool. Actually, no, that's fine. Let's do it. Good. Yes.
Just as you do that, can you roll me a d20?
Yeah, that's fine.
This will be in the workshop,
15.
FYI.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say that, Neumann is curled up, mimicking your fetal position sleep in the workshop in the very corner, to mimic what he assumes was you testing it. He's trying to make the ideal condition for you to test it to make sure that it works for you. So he's curled up in the corner like.
Oh, okay. So in the workshop, are there like any cupboards or like a cabinet or something like that?
Yes, and yes.
Cool. So Bertie kind of steps over the curled up Neumann, and he like he takes out his little spell book. Well, he already had it out 'cause he was checking it. And then he sort of takes out from his pocket like a little piece of like looks like a little disc of polished marble, and then kind of like opens the cabinet, puts the piece of marble and then like a spoon, he throws that in there as well, and a little like carving, he throws that in, shuts the door, and then kind of like closes his eyes and focuses, and like holding in his other hand the pages of his spell book, which again are not veiny anymore, they're all it's just a normal spell book, flicker, and then there's kind of a presence in for a moment, and then Bertie opens the door and he's like, "Ah, cool, it worked. Hey Neumann, yeah, you can get up now. That wasn't required, but you do look very cute sleeping, like a cat,
I don't feel any different. It's as he gets up, quite confused. Okay. What happened?
Come look! And Bertie like gestures grandly to the open cabinet door, which, as Neumann can look inside, looks like in a TARDIS-like way, looks just like the entrance to Bertie's mansion. Ta-da!
Oh wow. Okay. So I could just go through?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really actually my mansion. It's a spell I made of. Pretty cool, huh?
You made this spell?
Yeah, I've been working on it. Well, I worked on it with Caius, but yeah, we've been working on it.
What? He's now like fully, like he may have gone up to it really cautiously earlier, but now he's just like all in its business, like looking at every aspect of it, trying to put his hands through and stuff like that. Does anything in particular happen?
No.
It is not illusory at all. It is an actual, it is an actual magical replica of Bertie's mansion back in Durham. With one additional feature, which is, I can't remember if it's a specific number or it's just endless.
Oh, I think it's 100.
100 unseen servants.
Yeah. I'll throw that to Mitch. What did Caius specify they should look to like last time they did this spell? So they're semi-transparent.
Yeah.
There's 100 of them.
So he would try and make them all look like different, but it doesn't work. So they're all just kind of a little bit like they look like a normal semi-translucent humanoid, but just with a couple of little changes. Like they're all wearing a top hat and they've all got some form of facial hair, which
I love it.
I feel like there's probably one floating around that is just this. It just looks the same as the like description that Caius gave Bertie for the disguise back in.
it's essentially a
Back in
modified version
DSL.
of that. Yeah.
For sure. But it's like, yeah, so it's basically like a replica of my house, except with some cool other things planned, because like I basically got a copy of like my actual plans for my actual house, and we like tested to see because I can pretty much, as long as I'm visualizing it, I can pretty much do whatever with it. But this is basically like my house. It's so like, we go camping, like it's not like, a bummer, like, no offense again. I didn't bring it up yesterday because you were really excited about the thing you got from the convocation, but this has beds.
Yeah, this is a lot better.
Yeah,
Neumann gives like double thumbs up. This is awesome. It's inside my workshop.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is.
I guess it must work because it's like connecting like a temporary dimension with like your temporary semi-permanent dimensions. So I don't know how the magic stuff works, but it has an explosion. So there we go.
So I've got two questions for you. Firstly, how long does this last?
Oh, so it lasts, but he like flicks through his like book. It can last up to a whole day. Obviously, we don't need to be here for a whole day, but like I know people probably want to like chill and stuff like that. So you've got the hot springs in there and everything. So like, yeah. I made like a trampoline. It's called a trampoline. It's like you bounce on it and you like bounce real high. It's pretty cool.
I don't remember there being a trampoline in the other place.
Yeah, no.
So big, I guess I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, well, it's plenty of stuff. Like, as I said, like, yeah, we did, like, drawing sessions and we're like, cool, let's figure that out. That's why, like, all the servants look like that, because I was like, hey, Caius, why don't you draw them? Or, like, describe them to me and I'll make them. So,
And you did all this with your imagination, basically. You just visualized this.
Well, me and Caius, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I was, I was looking forward to actually showing people this. I just haven't had the time, I guess. It's kind of weird to be at my house and be like, hey, look, I made a copy of my house. So this is the perfect situation for it. And
amazing.
And yeah, I guess the one thing is, I think Anya's cotton on to what it is, but she kind of gets a funny kind of gesture to her whenever I'm like, oh, I did a thing of Caius, so but I didn't tell her 100% about it because you know how she feels that. Not like Caius in the way of the wild magic, but she feels magic really strong. This is a lot of magic, so I hope she'll be okay with that too.
I'm sure.
We'll see. Caius won't get mad at magic, but it's safe in here, so that's okay.
I'm sure the pros outweigh the cons here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, there's like food, like it like outfits food, so we don't need to cook food tonight.
I now have an additional two questions. My previous question was going to be what happens if it disappears whilst we're in it, but because it lasts for a day, I don't think that's going to be a problem. And secondly, actually, I might just do this. I'm curious. I'll be right back. He goes in to the front doors, I'm assuming there's flowers.
Yes.
Or
yeah,
at
exactly
the
like
very
his
least, a
house.
blade of grass.
Lots of flowers. Yes.
He will
and grass.
pick a flower, and then he will
Yes.
come out of the dimension. What happens to the flower?
Okay, I believe
It dissipates
it-
into smoke.
That answers my question. So, my next question. If we eat the food, what happens when we come out?
Now, Neumann, you already know the answer to this question because it's similar magic to the cart. And
very true,
you
it did stock
continue to be satiated and sustained by the food that you have had in there.
Does it work like the cart?
Yeah, it's like the cart. It's kind of like I was trying to focus on it. Some people call it like Magnificent Mansion, but I like to call it Bertie's Magnificent Mansion. So, because it's
I love it.
kind of in a pot. Anyway,
I mean, it's got you written all over it. So.
Yeah, oh, that could be a cool little addition. Yeah, I should probably just write Bertie up. That would be funny. I'm sorry, I'm very tired and I've just been
No,
walking
you're all
day.
good. Cool. And one last precautionary measure.
Mhm.
Do you have to focus on this constantly? Or can you... Is this done now? You don't need to pay much more attention to it.
No, it's all finished. Now it's been set up. It's gonna last for a day, or when I get rid of it, obviously.
All right.
And the good thing
That's
about
great.
this is, like, I'm assuming it's the same with your portal here, but like, when we go in, it's just us. So like, no one can like double break in, I guess, is the thing. So,
yeah. Well, my dimension is more of it's the item doing all the work. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't put anything into it. Hence why it's safe to use without, the wild magic and all that. But this is all you. So yeah, that's why I was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a
Awesome.
bit of use somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, well,
But,
awesome. Well, I was, as he goes outside the dimension, empties his pockets of all the leaves and soft things he could find on the way here. I probably don't need to fashion beds out of these anymore, so...
Yeah, no, sorry. I would have said
he-
something earlier. I didn't feel like talking today.
he picked up a lot of leaves, so he's just emptying the bag of holding outside of the out of his
Ray
dimension.
just kind of stands there watching him for a while. He's like,
I thought it was a cool idea. But hey, look, if anyone wants it, there's a pile of leaves here now.
I mean, Vanya might want it to decorate her hair. Who knows? Brooke might want it to decorate her hair, fuel her hair, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, no.
Yeah, cool. Did you want to show the others now?
Oh, I guess. You're better at the pizzazz. I mean, that's my kind of thing. But
Well, okay. in
you
that
could like be
case,
like, your choice.
Neumann just does a 180 and he's outside of the workshop, so I'm assuming he's like right in the middle of everyone else already as he's been saying this. So he sort of just turns around with jazz hands.
I imagine Rook would probably say something along the lines of like,
have we lost Bertie?
No, it's the opposite. Bertie has found us an amazing place to sleep inside of my workshop. Come one, come all, have a look. Enjoy Bertie's magnificent mansion inside of Neumann's magnificent workshop.
But he's kind of like
As
standing by the door, but his little fingers steeple, but he's like, yeah, I like that. That's good.
Fully catered by lots of floating mustaches. And as he gestures everyone in to have a look. You may awe, but not too much. We don't know how much oxygen is in this place, so don't breathe it all. But yeah, no, this is pretty good. Hopefully, we should be able to get a pretty good night's sleep. Hopefully, I kind of had a whole bunch of leaves there in case anyone wants them to stuff their beds. Otherwise, leaves there for whatever purpose you need leaves for.
Is that why you were running through the trees?
Yeah, I kind of felt bad. People had a bad night's sleep, so I was trying to make something, but we were on the run, so I couldn't really fashion anything on the way. Much quicker just to collect it and do it later.
That was very kind of you, but this is amazing! Ross, walks in and, looks at Petal. This is astonishing! You made this!
Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. So this is the perfect timing for it, I guess.
It's fantastic.
Thank you. Well, everyone get in! It's basically like my house, except a little bit different. So, you can do whatever, and there's, free food there. It's just made by the spells, so it doesn't actually deplete my personal refrigerator. So that's even better.
Anya, when she approaches the sort of entrance, she, with a bit of trepidation, she sort of puts her hand out just to feel the magic a bit. And I can imagine this might worry a few people just because of how she has been with her magic. But after a moment, she kind of quietly, without really turning away, quietly addresses Bertie, and she's like, Is this what you were working on with Caius?
Yeah, that was one of the things.
This is strong magic, Bertie. I always knew you were powerful, but this is really amazing. You should be proud.
Thank you. I'm glad. I hope it'll be present because it's not really my house, so it'll be present all the time, that feeling, I guess. I assume for you. So, but I'm pretty proud of this.
I might have to take breaks, but it should be fine.
Yeah,
as long as we will be safe, that's what matters.
Yeah, it'll be good. And it automatically makes food so you can have all the booze you want. It'll be great. Or just any food.
Yeah. Technically it has sufficient food and drink to serve a 9-course banquet for up to 100 people. So
yes.
if the 7 of you can go through all that in 24 hours, that is a concern.
Rook and Caius is going to do, we're going to do our best.
Anya sort of steps through, and she does do a little sort of shake when she gets in there, just to get a sort of feel for all the magic around her. But it does settle a little bit. She just kind of looks a bit like she's concentrating a bit harder than she normally would be passively. And she kind of finds her favorite sort of spot in one of the sitting rooms and just plonks herself down on the little sofa and kind of curls up a little bit, but in a comfort sort of way, rather than a...
That's fair. And I can imagine Bertie probably kind of pats her on the shoulder as he wanders past to try and make sure everyone's doing fine.
All right. So, is there anything in particular on this night that people would like to do? Enjoying the extravagance of the mansion compared to the cramped workshop of last night?
I think Anya's still going to take a short watch. She's going to sort of plan her sleeping schedule around like getting bits of rest and then waking up and watching and then getting bits of rest again. So she's going to sort of separate her trance just because she's a bit concerned, and also just to give her a bit of a break from the amount of magic around her. So she does that. And if you want me to roll something, I can do that.
Look, her proficiency's that high that her perception's that high. I'm not going to worry about getting you to roll.
Yeah.
Once everyone's sort of finished up with dinner, Caius is still like picking at little bits, and everyone kind of disperses. Caius will 100% make his way to the trampoline, and that's where he will expend the rest of his energy.
Okay.
And it is straight after eating as well, so I can roll something if you would like.
Yeah, roll me a constitution saving throw, I guess. But
I rolled a 2!
which comes to?
13.
13. Yeah, take a point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Not that it's gonna matter because you'll rest and be fine.
Fair.
Actually, while Caius is on the trampoline, Ross is gonna see that happen, and she's gonna go up to him and just gonna be like, Caius! Hello?
Hello!
How are you feeling?
Well, very dizzy and a little bit sick.
Maybe you should stop?
That might be a good idea. And he's gonna stop jumping for a bit and just kind of sit down on the edge of the trampoline like, oh.
Yeah, feeling good there, buddy?
Yes, I think so.
It's been a long day.
Well, it's been a long week.
So, have you talked to Bertie yet?
Well, not really, not today. Very much. Well, there was a little bit, I pointed out a tree that I liked, but that was more to everyone, I guess.
She crouches down in front of him, and she just, the exhaustion looks like it's really worn her a little thin, and she looks kind of a little more stressed out than she normally does. And she's just gonna go, Caius, I'm gonna level with you here, buddy. I know you and Bertie had a disagreement about something. I don't know what. And I know he made you that plushie. Why haven't you spoken to him? He's still freaking out.
Oh, well, we've been busy. I don't know. We haven't sort of had a chance, I guess. And he's not looking at Ross anymore, and he's kind of got, looking at the ground with furrowed eyes, like he's trying to figure out what is going on in his head.
Hey, it's okay. So, look, I'm just gonna spitball here, Caius. A year ago, you and I had a bit of a conversation about you and Bertie. And in the years since, you and he have been the best friends I've ever seen. Well, great friends, right?
Well, yes.
Has something happened to make you worried about talking to Bertie. Or not worried. Concerned that if you say something serious, a lot of other things will spill out.
Caius immediately becomes very flustered and kind of not shaking, but something close.
Hey, it's okay.
I don't. Well, I guess. I just don't. Well, I don't know. I'm just nervous now. I think I don't want to. I know that. Well, a lot has happened in the last year, and a few days ago, Bertie and I had a bit of a chat. Well, actually, it was not that long ago at all. And then everything was going well, I think, better. And I was confused, but part of me wasn't. But part of me really was. That part's always there. But and now, well, yesterday we had a I just don't want to say the wrong thing. Because I don't know. I've grown rather fond of Bertie.
So have I. Which is why I know, for a fact, he'd rather you say the wrong words and speak to him than say nothing at all.
You're right. Of course you're right.
Not of course. We're all working through our own stuff, Caius. But
you know how to talk to people. You're a talker. You're good at that. I have no idea how to do half of the things that you do.
And I don't know how to do half the things you do. I can't even pick up a sword like yours. Nor can I assume, build the kind of house you've built or do any of the things you've done in the past year. I could never go to another plane and get a Pegasus.
Well, I mean, Bertie helped me. It wasn't just me.
I know. But Caius, you can do so much. And I think you need to have a think about why you can do so much more and are so much happier when you do things with Bertie. You're fond of him, yes, but I really want you to think about it. And talk to him. Again, I said it before, and I know you know this. If you are speaking from the heart, and she points at her heart, you're not going to say the wrong thing. Because you're going to say what you mean.
Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
And Caius is going to stand up.
Ross stands.
I think there's something I need to do.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Do you know how to teach music? You're very good at music things. Can you teach other people?
Yes, of course. I've been teaching Bertie to play the lute for a year.
How quickly can you teach a bunch of semi ghost sort of people just a little bit of a tune?
Like a band?
Sure.
Well, I mean, if you want, one of them can instead play this, and she pulls out a wand and she kind of shakes it a little bit, and it makes the sound of like an orchestra tuning up. And she's like, as long as one of them is waving this around, it can play music for as long as you want, up to 3 times a day.
Oh. Can I borrow that?
Yes, absolutely. Is there any particular room this music is going to be in? Do you want me to make sure certain people are avoiding it at a certain time?
Oh, I'll be honest, I hadn't got that far yet.
Cool.
What about, well, I mean, this is nice, isn't it? We could get a rug or a blanket or something or other and set something up there and,
Bertie has a dining room.
Oh, yes, that's probably a better idea. Yes, no.
Kai, take a deep breath in for me. Breathe out. If you're doing what I think you're doing, Bertie's not gonna care what it looks like. He's going to care that you put effort in.
Right. Okay. Right. Well. Right. The dining room, then.
Fantastic. I will give you the wand, and one of the servants can play it. And I will make sure everyone else is everywhere but the dining room for however long you two need.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ping me if it's gonna be more than like 4 hours, because at that point we'll all just go to bed and pretend we don't know what's going on. So.
What? You?
Nothing! You get ready. You get ready. I'll go sort everything else out.
Oh, okay.
And Ross is gonna scurry off. And as she kind of goes into the living room, she will kind of pass by Bertie and just give him 2 little like pats on the shoulder and just kind of do some complex series of hand gestures that mean nothing but to denote a certain sense of frantic excitement.
Probably the second that like Ross taps him on the shoulder, he like jumps and like just yeets like a flask across the room and like and then like just kind of like does like weird hand gestures back at her like okay
And then she's gonna lean down really quietly and she's just gonna very quietly go, I don't know when he's going to come out here, but Caius has asked that the rest of us, not apart from you, go into the dining room for a little while. So I'm about to go introduce everyone else to Zip Zap Zop. And, I think some almonds are getting peeled, Bertie.
Okay. I'm... Cool. All right.
It's good.
Good. Okay. Cool. Yes. Good. All right. Yes. Cool. Awesome. Thanks. Can I actually ask a quick question?
Of course.
Whatever he's planning, he told you. Did he come up and tell you about it, or did you ask him?
She gets like a weird little look on her face. It was his idea. I had to point out it was something he could do.
Something kind of like passes over Bertie's eyes, but then he kind of like nods. He's like, okay. Okay, cool.
I know.
Well, thank you. Cool.
Yeah. I'll remember, I'm just a ping away if it goes wrong.
Yeah, no probs. It'll be good. I mean, to be honest, at this point, I'm pretty sure Anya can tell whenever I'm like stressed, because it's kind of pretty much all the time anyway. So like she probably like just come and like motorize him if he does anything anyway. So like, you know, if you see her like start to get out her daggers, that's probably a bad sign.
Yeah.
That's what a friend's for, you know?
Exactly. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. I hope it goes really well.
Me too. I wish I knew what it was.
Look, to be fair, he didn't actually like say the words, but I can only assume it's that.
Oh, it could be anything.
Yeah,
Fine.
like,
That's
yeah.
fine. That's
I want to
fine.
say I assume, but then again, to be fair, it is Caius. He could very much veer this in a left turn very, very rapidly, but he
does
took the
that.
wand of conducting, so he's trying to set some kind of mood.
Okay, cool. Huh. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
The bear kind of like resettles in the chase and he goes like tries to like very surreptitiously start to like, okay, should I look better? Mirror. Cool.
Cool. Ross is gonna like, I don't know, just place one of his little curls like in a nice little spot, give him another little pat on the shoulder and a thumbs up, and then corral the rest of the group like cattle out of the room. I guess.
Okay.
Just like, guys, I want to show you something. Except better than that, because she has a higher charisma than I, Zoe, do naturally. So she's gonna
Anya.
naturally and effortlessly take everyone out of the room.
Anya, who would have uncomfortably overheard all of it, is already outside. She's just like out of the building. She heard it and then she's like, I need to.
Just like imagine Ross like
Okay,
wanting to
that's-
corral everyone. She's like, I just gotta find Anya, and then she's like, that's weird. I can't find her. And she like opens the door to outside, and Anya's just there. She's like, I figured.
Newman is not even in that part. He's in his workshop. He's painting on fabric on the floor.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
So he knows nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Bertie, do you go to find Caius then?
He can't just like start like he probably just like sit there awkwardly pondering. He's like, is Caius going to come and talk to me, or am I meant to walk into there because this was a passed on invitation? So he just sits there steepling his fingers for a very long time. I suppose if he doesn't, then he will eventually start, when it starts to get awkward and uncomfortable, then he will eventually start to wander out to see what's going on.
Well,
But
Does
yeah.
Bertie wait more than 42 minutes?
That's an incredibly specific amount of time.
he probably starts drinking after after about 30. But yeah. He probably does, and then he probably is just looking just depressed by the end of that by that point. Because that's a long time to wait.
Well, 42 and a half minutes later, you hear some footsteps kind of shuffling up to the door, and there's a pause of probably about 5 seconds before there's a tentative knock.
Hello? But he kind of like just jumps up and like again throws another flask into like a pot plant, and then shuffles up to the door. Yeah? Hello?
Hello, Bertie.
Yes?
Can I come in quickly?
Yes? That's how a door works.
Oh, yes. Got it. And he'll open the door and come in. He's in, just a nice looking tunic. It's fairly clean, with the exceptions of the short sleeves and a little bit of his cheek has flour and a couple of other ingredients like sort of spattered over it.
Are you okay?
What? Yes. No. I'm fine.
Sorry, we haven't talked much.
No. How are you?
I've been better, but I'm okay.
Would you like to talk about it?
He kind of like, his ears kind of like flick in like a particular direction, so he just kind of like shrugs. He's like, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, well, okay, really quickly, like, I gave Ross a present to give to you yesterday, which I believe you did get, from the sounds of it, so that's good. But since we still didn't talk after that, that's why I haven't been talking much. So I just wanted to reiterate, I guess, with the magic thing, I get it, I fucked up, I wasn't thinking, I know so much of how magic has hurt you, we've got to the point that even explosive magic can be happy fireworks for you, so it was bad of me to get careless, when the last thing I wanted to do was hurt you more, so I'm sorry about that. I was hoping the other stuff would convey that, but I'm sorry, that wasn't great, so I hope, I hope you like the beat and the flower. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do. I very much like the bee and the flower and the note as well. I'm sorry we didn't really get to... Well, I didn't make the time to talk to you today. Everything that happened with the magic yesterday, that happens. That's just something that is part of me that will take a while to get over, but you didn't have any intention to hurt me. I know that.
Good. I'm glad.
I know we care for each other and we wouldn't want anything to happen to each other.
No.
And I know how I felt when I hurt you a long time ago. And his eyes kind of drift down to Bertie's arm.
Bertie's like hand kind of like subconsciously kind of like doesn't like cover up the scar because it's very long, but kind of like touches that. He's like, yeah.
But after a little while, you spoke to me about how you were feeling about it, and we worked through it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fair for me to not talk to you about it. I just panicked, and I'm not very good at resolving things, and I'm sorry, but I want you to know that I very much like the bee and the flower, but that you didn't need to do any of that, because I just like spending time with you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear you say it. I didn't know whether you wanted me around after that, so I guess I made some assumptions. So sorry, I wasn't trying to avoid you either. I don't know what to talk about sometimes, so, and after things lately, I don't want to be around too much, because of the other stuff, so, if you don't want me to, so, that's, sorry about that.
You have nothing to apologize for. I haven't been very forthcoming. Is that it?
It sounds right to me.
that works. Yes, I haven't
That's a word that works.
Yes, very forthcoming with you either. So well, I've been wanting to have a chat for a while, and then, well, ever since the ball that didn't go very well, we had a chat, and which got interrupted by really just some terrible people. It's very rude of them. But they interrupted it, and we had a plan where we were going to stop and have a talk together.
Oh, yeah.
And we never really got a chance to, because, well, then the world started, happening.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to kill everyone else, so...
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's the way, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's been brought to my attention that if you don't make time, then you don't have time. So even though we're sort of in the middle of something, would you like to spend some time with me?
Betty blinks quite rapidly for a moment, and then the twigs near his ears, which Caius has seen happen before, the little flowers and sprout from them, and then they stay there. He's like, yeah, I would like to spend some time with you.
Okay, well, I would like to spend some time with you.
Well, that's something we have in common. In the opposite. That. Yeah. No, that would be nice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's spend time together, then.
Okay. Yes. We'll do that.
Right. Oh! Cake, would you like to join me downstairs?
Yes. What's wrong? Yes, absolutely.
No, everything's fine. Everything is fine.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, downstairs. Is a dress code, or is this fine?
You look wonderful. That's fine.
Okay.
You can wear whatever is you're comfortable in.
Oh, yeah.
This is technically your house. So
Yes, that is true. Well, my house with some designs you added.
well, right.
Yes, downstairs.
Yes. Follow me, and Caius is going to sort of buoyantly but awkwardly bop his way outside and down to the kitchen, where there is a
Pressure after him.
there is one of the bearded servants sort of waving a wand in a corner, and there is a very slight sort of bouncy orchestral kind of music playing. It's not a lot to be like pervasive, but it's there, and it's giving a sort of happy-ish vibe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, or as much as translucent orchestral can.
That's fair.
And there is a faint smell of something baking in the kitchen. And Caius, if you would like to take a seat, and he's going to pull out one of the chairs in the at the dining table.
Bertie looks very flustered all of a sudden, and then kind of like, but he looks very pleased, and he's like, well, yes, of course. Boy, I feel so special. He will sit down.
And I will just be a moment. I'm just going to check
Okay.
on something, and he's going to toddle off into the kitchen, and he'll put on the apron that he had, which is, the one that Bertie got for Caius
Yes.
the first time they had their baking lesson.
Yes.
And which perfectly fills in the pattern of flour, matching the shoulders and the face down
He's
the
like,
rest of the body. And Caius is going to pull out of the fantasy oven that we've got a slightly saggy but nicely smelling carrot cake.
Oh, lovely.
And he'll put that on a little rack to cool down, and then he'll come back into the dining room. Well, so I got the timing wrong. There was meant to be a cake here that we could share, but it's not. It's cooling down, because I remember you told me it's always good to put a cake out to rest for a bit and not eat it while it's hot, because that's not good, apparently.
No, not good for you. No, yes. It smells really good though. I can't believe you made a cake. It smells really good. You did a good job.
Thank you. I know the last few times when we've tried it, we sort of have to eat all the cake here before we take it out. But I mean, we could still try. Maybe this time will be different. But I'm sure we can at least have a slice.
Well, we've got some time, so I'm sure it'll cool down in time for that. Yeah, no, smells good.
Of course. Right, and he's going to sit down kind of opposite Bertie. So, small talk.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I've thought about this for a while, and there's always, oh, we can talk about this or we can talk about that going on in my head, and but that's all kind of gone now, and I don't really know. But then, of course, you don't want to jump straight into everything because not very good at this.
It's okay. I'm not either.
And Caius kind of takes a deep breath and holds it for a bit, and then lets it out. I really like spending time with you.
Mm-hmm. I like spending time with you.
More than everyone else.
Like blue starts to creep across Barry's face. He's like, well, that's the same for me. With you.
I don't know what that means. Well, I mean, I want... Well, I don't know. Everything that that I do around you, I want... Well, I want you to be happy. And I know it's different, but I don't know if it's weird to say.
It's okay. Nothing's weird. I'm listening to you now.
Well, I mean, that's true. How weird can it possibly get? We're in a house within a house in a forest trying to kill us.
It's true. We're very weird people. But he kind of like reaches out and tries to take his hand. Like just like puts like the crook with the finger, like loops that with Caius's index finger, his pointer finger. You can keep talking. If you don't want to talk, it's fine.
Well, no, I do want to talk. I want to do nothing but talk. I just can't. Just don't know the words.
Oh, that's fair.
I feel very... I feel happy when I'm with you. And I don't... I like that feeling.
It's a nice feeling.
And I just don't want that to change. I am... But I guess... and Caius sort of gets a little bit more flustered. Says, I feel, and if this is not
Hey, it's okay.
I feel something. when I'm with you. And well, I mean, it's new, but it's not.
New, but not.
Well, you remember how you were talking to me about well, when I was telling you about Frank and Martha.
Yeah.
The bees from my house.
Yeah. I like hearing about them.
How I was saying that they were always together and that they liked each other, and you said, well, do they like each other or do they like each other? And then you had to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I think I like you, Bertie.
Oh. Really? And you like Frank and Martha?
Oh, well, I mean, we're not bees.
No. Well, I'm a bee, I guess, technically.
Well, that's true.
Sorry.
I mean, I could be a bee. I guess I could be. No, that won't work.
I think you'd make a nice bee. Bertie looks very flustered. But he kind of slides his hand down to lace his finger. That hand was looping a finger around Caius's to lace his fingers through his hand. Well, thank you for telling me this. So, if I'm getting this right, this is new to you, kind of.
Yes, it's similar to how I felt before.
Yeah.
But it's different. I don't know. I think I'm sorry.
No. Well, it's okay. Caius, do you mind if I do my babbling for a little bit? If that's alright?
Of course.
If you want to say stuff, though, you can either start zoning out, or you can tell me, "Hey, Bertie, let's talk about bees," or something. Okay? I've been wondering for a while. So and you say it feels a bit different to before, and different from normal to you, I guess. I said before that I think I'm in love with you, and I guess when you talked about dinner before, you said that we should both think about what that means and stuff like that. So I had to think about it. We did all that walking, and the terrorists came. We've come to this country to try and stop terrorists from attacking the whole world and all that shit stuff. But yeah, I guess with me, it's a bit different because I used to fall in love really easy with Fawkes, and it's not the same way that it is now. So I get it, because I used to fall in love with people sometimes just because we talked lots, and sometimes just because they said they were interested and I was lonely. So but that didn't last very long, and I was obnoxious, we weren't right, whatever, so I gave up. 10 years after Cyril, you know, the one I told you and we met. My God. Sorry, so I just kind of figured, I guess, that I was bad at loving and other things were easier. And I don't know if it was to you, but to Neumann and Anya, it was certainly clear that I liked you from the start. So, I'm never as half as subtle as I think I'm being after all. But, you know, that's not a you thing. That's like well, Anya likes, she likes ribbon a bit. That's, and Neumann loves reading lots of romance novels. Cause they interest him, for some reason. But yeah, I guess, what I'm saying is, like, I liked you the second I met you, but I didn't really know you for a long time. I mean, you're a noble after all, and I grew up poor than dirt, and we were too different, and I barely even talked to a noble before then. I didn't even really have friends anymore by that point, and the first time we even had a real conversation was on the airship when we talked about your magic and your family, and I said before I thought we were similar with that in a way, and I wanted to help you. More than just look at you like before, I wanted to know you. You know, in Navora, when I asked you to come do magic training, before I gave you the present, I'd written you a letter asking you out. I was going to give it to you, but I couldn't do it for lots of reasons, but mostly because you were going through stuff. So I just kept it for me, and you left a few days later, and then all this stuff. And I worried about you more and more, and I was bad at it, but we got there slowly, you know, friends. And sorry, I'm babbling a bit. A year ago, I guess, all I wanted was someone to be my friend. Anyone to care over the truly insane amount of shit I was put through in both a short space and also since forever. I wanted someone to talk to me and listen and help me, and that didn't happen. It didn't come from you, and it didn't really come in whole from anyone, just in parts, and that's no one's fault. Because I had to do it for myself instead and grow up a bit. And I hung on to anyone saying scraps of kindness because I was so starved, but all through it I came to understand that we weren't too different. You also felt alone and unloved and unworthy and talked over, and you were starved even when you didn't always know it. Of friends and of love. And when it was you, I felt like I could do things to help it for the both of us, and that's just half. Not a whole love, but it's a strong one that I could keep burning. And when you're at the darkest part of your life, that's enough sometimes just to be near the sunlight, so. And then, after we killed my old horrible god and I got a house and we settled down in Durham, things got more whole. We spent so much time together. I got to know you more. I let you know more of me. We share that knowing. We fly, we go for walks at night, we cook, we play games, smart, tell tales, share moments at a time, and then days and weeks and months. And it's getting a lot more like animated like this by this point. And I know the things we do are friend things because we're friends, but like you, it feels different for me, I guess. And I guess for me, love, or liking, can mean many things and take many shapes. And for a while it was worrying and hoping and fearful and then quiet and then knocking louder every day on my ribcage and on my door. And I guess what I'm saying is I've never had a home in my life. You know that. I've had it before all the time, right? Even when I was with my mom and my pa, they just went where they liked. They didn't need houses. The tavern was a home for me, earning my keep as a noose, and that I was in and out of every town and city and country because no walls could keep me, even if they wanted to. And I never belonged anywhere until I made friends proper with you and Anya and Neumann and Ross and Rook. And even now I've got the mansion. Looks just like this one. It's nice having somewhere, you know, a house, but he kind of like, he then takes Caius' other hand, and then he's been babbling, and then he kind of like focuses directly on him. He's like, but for me, I guess, loving you feels like home. And that's the best way I can describe it. Bertie is always obnoxiously awkward, but there are so many words to describe everything I feel, and it feels important to use lots of them when it comes to you. I want to know all of you sometimes, and sometimes I even hope you want the same of me, even though being known terrifies me, so... Because not all of me is good, or pretty, or smart. But I don't think I'd mind being known completely by you. You have almost all of me already, after all. Sorry, I babble a lot sometimes. I've been thinking lots of things for a long time. So...
Throughout this whole conversation, Caius has been getting more and more still. And towards the end, has started making direct eye contact with Bertie, which is something that he doesn't do very often, or much at all, really. And there's a pause. Caius goes, Bertie. I want to be there for you. I want to have a house. I want to settle down. I want to get to know one another. And I want you to be happy.
I want you to be happy. I think we can be happy together. If you want to be.
I think I do.
Hey. What are you thinking right now?
Bertie kind of grins, and Caius grins and looks at the ground. Yes. That's funny, I was just thinking about how happy I already am.
Hey. And Bertie kind of stands up. And then he kind of like scoots around, like Scobie's hand temporarily scoots around and Taylor's like, hey, can I kiss you?
Sure.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, no, yes, no, this is probably the right time, isn't it?
It's just what feels right. I mean, I want to kiss you all the time. That's just like a permanent thing in my brain. But like, if you want to do it, that's great. But you don't have to.
No, I think that would be a good idea. I think at the right moment, yes. I'm making the moment worse. Yes.
Yes? Okay, close eyes.
Caius will.
Ray like grabs his hands and leans in and kisses him. There we go.
And then we eat cake.
We eat cake, yeah, absolutely. Cool.
All right.
Slipped.
I think that is as good a place as any to end this episode on such a sweet, wondrous note. I think both of you need a point of inspiration for that whole thing.
Laura disappeared.
For audio listeners, Laura turned off her video and on Zoom it is displaying the name Bertie with busy in brackets.
And Darby, you can keep your inspiration for Caius. Caius is already inspired.
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy
Retroactively, we're still in it.
Yeah.
Sorry for listening, but also thank you so much for listening.
Hashtag love wins, everybody. See you next week.
All right.
Incredible. Newman's like, I'm having so much fun painting this
I'm
tapestry.
painting. I have no idea what's happening. I think I hear Ross with Anya doing something crazy, but yeah.
I need to be very small for like a good 40 minutes to an hour. Just right now. I just need to be very small.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Have
Goodbye.
a good week, everyone.
Bye. Newman will take the inspiration. He just lost his, so I did in fact have inspiration.
Oh no!
Good God.